Okay. So I'm just going to talk about this really quickly, but it's put out music. And what do I mean? I mean, even if you don't like the music that you made, and if you don't feel completely satisfied with it, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I got to put more work into this, I got to do better, or my lyrics aren't perfect. You think too much about it. Put it out anyway. Because it's not you who decides who likes your music, it's the audience. But why? That's the next node. The more music you think about making, the more it sits in the back and it never gets released. So you can't get an idea of what people want unless you release at least bits of it. So if we look at like Charlie Puth, he will have songs from a year ago, but he will start releasing little bits of it as if he's working on it again, pulling it from the back burner. And if it gets hype, it gets made. If it doesn't get hype, it doesn't get made. I mean, that's simple. But he releases bits of it. At least he releases. What about copyright? Sure. If you think that you have 10 songs ready to go out, then I would consider copywriting them. If you have something that is a scratch idea, I'd consider just releasing it, see what the general public thinks, and yeah, it might get stolen, but many times James has said this, it has a timestamp of when it was released, when you put it up. And as long as as long as you put it up multiple places and your accounts all don't get suspended or blocked, you're good. You could still probably prove it if it's not completely deleted on their server side. How do we sell this music though? Okay, my question was to everybody, why pay 99 cents when you can get it for free? I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to read everything. That's my question.
If you want the high res version, basically.
Okay. So Apple is doing a subscription that is freaking insane, and I love it. I would rather buy Apple's subscription than to pay 99 cents for a song. Unless I wanted to pass that down to somebody when I pass away. Does that make sense? Because it's cheaper for me to listen to 1,000 songs than to buy 1,000 songs. And okay, are you going to listen to 1,000 songs? Well, in my lifetime, yeah. How much would that cost? $1,000, right? So if the subscription is running at $9, whatever, that's about $100 a year. Okay, and you give it 10 years. There's your $1,000 mark. But 10 years for some people is, well, in software, it's 5 years is a lifetime for software. So 10 years can be it's a generation. So maybe the person lives to be 40 years, whatever. 4,000, right? We're talking 4,000. How many songs would you have bought in 40 years? Do you see what I'm saying? Way over 4,000. So you're going to have 40,000 songs. So now you're paying 10 cents a song. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it really works itself out. Now, if you're the guy that only buys 5 songs, then yeah, go and buy 5 songs for 99 cents. If that's all you're ever going to buy. Back to what I was talking about. Not everyone thinks free is the way to go. It's covered by ads. Ads are annoying. Alexa ads are annoying. Amazon ads, they're annoying. Google's ads are annoying.
Marty, what are you doing on the keyboard?
It's not me.
I'm sorry, that's me. I'll mute it.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm at work.
Oh, you're at work. Okay, well then go work away. I didn't know what it was.
So why don't we try to take our stuff and try to make it premium and sell it for only 25 cents? Everybody has a quarter. are they willing to buy it for a quarter when they can listen to it for free? Well, if you're competitive with the market, then yeah, they will buy it for a quarter because they want to own it and they can pass it on. How many people can you get doing this? I mean, I'm even thinking about like, what if you made a subscription service and like Apple, right? Not a subscription service, a website like Apple or whatever, Spotify, whatever, James, and started selling artists' music for 25 cents. It's way below the dollar because, I mean, we're going to be honest, the dollar's not really the dollar. So you're making more profit. You say 25 cents, people start buying it, right? 4 people, that's your dollar right there. 4 people. So now you're four. Well, okay. So everything's just divided by 4.
So let me stop you there for a moment. How are you selling it for 25 cents?
You're selling it for 25 cents because you're not
No.
selling it for 99 cents.
How are you doing it?
Your own website. You go and make an agreement with a whole bunch of companies and say, hey, I have a different idea. I have a different approach. And I know, a lot of people may have had this idea before, but I'm going to try to utilize it. Sure, you got subscription services. A lot of people ain't paying for those. They'll listen to the ads, but the ads that don't make them much money.
So
The ads are down there.
What? All right. So I'll give you my old business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sell me this song.
Sell me this song. That was your old business.
Jordan Belfort said, "Sell me this pen," right?
There you go.
Sell me this song. What? Why do I? Okay. So how are you going to sell it? I'm not challenging you. I'm trying to let's walk through it. So how do you sell it and make a profit on that 25 cents?
Right, make a profit on 25 cents. Well, to make a profit on 25 cents, you got to say that there's 10,000 buyers, okay? Imaginary. You divide that by 4, you get $2,500, minus taxes, whatever, for those 10,000 buyers. But again, let's say those 10,000 buyers bought your whole album, which is 10 songs. That's $25,000. Right? I mean, that's a profit. That's a profit. Anything's a profit.
Well, no. Now,
but to your how,
is it a profit? So, how did you get those 10,000 people?
You see, but yeah, you're right. If you have to say I have to pay 10 cents for ad revenue to push out, not ad revenue, not ad revenue, but ads to push out. Mm-hmm. So they bring it down to 99 cents because they got to pay a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They got to pay to the artists, right? So your service says 25 cents, but we'll pay the artist 10 cents. You're making 15 cents off of it. I'm telling you.
All right.
penny.
So wait. So, yeah. All right. I was, and maybe I misunderstood. So I was assuming you were the artist trying to sell the song for 25 cents.
Oh, okay. So there's 2 ways. If I'm the artist trying to sell the song for 25 cents, first off, I have to have a big following to do that.
So that's where I was going. I was going with the effect of you're a new artist, you have nothing.
Yeah, we gotta put up a following to any new artists. And then when we do the sales, it's gonna be like, not, here's 10, the album is 10 songs and it was $9.99, but today you can get it for 99 cents. What? $1 for the whole album? Yep.
Columbia House mastered that.
And we can utilize that to our advantage because, I
was actually had that conversation. I wonder, history repeats itself. Why not just do the Columbia House thing?
Mm-hmm. No, you're right about that.
Sounds
history
like
repeats itself big time. And what's happening today is I've noticed a trend, and it's not just the teenagers, but it's a lot of the teenagers and the 20-year-olds. But it's a lot of people. They don't want to spend their money, especially on music and movies. You still have your bookworms that love books because, it's hard to get books. But books are a dying business. But people still love books. But movies and music is a dying business. But what's gonna overtake that? Really, there's nothing to overtake that but live concerts. So keep your concerts generally at the same price of what you normally would keep them at. Lower your sales, your merchandise, lower the price of your merchandise. You know, Mr. Beast will put something out there for $50 because he's Mr. Beast. Some people buy it. Don't put it out for $50. It's a hoodie. If you can make it for $5, put it out for 15. Timu. The crap out of your music, basically. Make it affordable. Make people want it though, right? You could have a fan base. So a whole platform, if you had a whole entire platform and you were selling other artists' music, like Taylor Swift, make an agreement with the company, say, hey, look at this. First, a small company. Do sales for them, do sales for a medium-sized company, and then go to the big company and say, look what we've achieved. And if they're like, oh yeah, no, that's dumb. We make way more money than that by utilizing Apple services.
But people are lazy. They don't want to buy music anymore. They just want to stream it.
But
Why would I buy it if I can stream it?
do you have premium?
Premium stream services? Yeah, they are.
Then you're
Yeah.
buying music.
Yeah, but if these companies fold up, you still don't own it, do you?
You know, and that's a tough one. That's a very tough one. See, Apple, I don't think the Apple will fold up for a long time. But like Spotify and stuff like that, yeah, you don't own it. And Kate, look at that, Kevin. You just brought something to everybody's attention in the world. You right there could have.
I don't need to own it. I just need to listen to it.
Right.
So in radio, you don't own it, right?
Right. But you get to play back whatever you want to play back when you want to play it back. But Rob, you kind of partially, well, you have a license, right? When you say you download a song, you still kind of don't own that. You're borrowing it for the rest of your life. It's a lifetime license. It's licensed to you to listen to whenever you want, even a record, even your record player. It's weird how many products are in your house. We like don't own really anything, even though you can break them. But that $9.99 subscription a month for your lifetime is a lot smarter. But there's so many songs coming out today that people go for the subscription instead of buying because they're like, oh, I like this song. I can just add it to my playlist. Download it for offline use, right? Instead of having to go out and buy an iTunes card, they can say, I don't have to worry about how much money's in my iTunes to pay that 25 cents. I could just pay $9.99, have it come out of my card or bank every month, and just don't worry about it. And plus, it fills up on your storage, right? It's a complete space saver. You're like, hey, I'm all out. But I will tell you, there are people that want to put things on their MP3 players because they still have them. They still have the old Apple MP3 players. They got the SanDisk MP3 players. Moms and dads don't want to give their kids phones, but want to give them MP3 players. How do they do that without buying the music? Make it
Do they
cheaper.
even make MP3 players anymore?
Oh yeah, they're filling like SanDisk, Amazon SanDisk MP3. It's a big thing. You can hold, what is it, 5,000, 10,000 songs on it. I have one of them in my drawer right now, and you don't worry if it drops. It's like, hey, it dropped. It's not a big deal. It wasn't that expensive. But you take your music on the go with you. And they're Bluetooth capable. So you can put in your AirPods. You want to upgrade your storage? You just put in another 64 gigabytes. And companies will revolve. They will turn around back to that people still use MP3 players. A lot of college students use MP3 players. But the MP3 players now have subscription services on them too. Just depending on which one you get. Can it connect to Wi-Fi? Hikers. You market the hikers. Lots of people hike. Lots of people road
Why don't
trip.
you just use your phone?
People don't want to hike with their phones.
Large. There is a large amount of the U.S. that still does not have cellular service.
There is. But okay, Rob, you might hike with your phone, right? I would say I'd rather hike with my watch, right? The reason is because, well, if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, of course I'm hiking with my phone. You know what I'm talking about, because they got that find satellite service thing. If I get lost,
Right.
Apple has compelled me to hike with my phone.
Hmm.
But Samsung hasn't. Samsung has compelled me to leave my phone behind because it's $1,000 and I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to take a little flip phone.
Hmm.
It lasts longer. The battery's not going to drain as fast, and it's not, something that weighs my backpack down, or I'm going to, I don't know. I'd have to look up the stats on that. How many people hike with their phones? But I'm assuming that if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you're not taking your phone with you. Take walkie-talkies or whatever. Archaeologists, maybe they use MP3 players. Can we look up stats on how many people buy MP3 players real quick? Let's see. Other countries as well that can't afford, but it's like even the smartphones. All right, even the smartphones are getting super affordable. Okay, for 2023, I got 2018, but let's go for 2023. An MP3 player can give you a range of features you can't find on smartphones, such as higher quality audio, longer battery life, and dedicated playback controls. I don't know. I don't know about that. They're using sync services today, a lot of the MP3 players, okay? There's a thing going on, a study that despite the growth of music streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, many people still prefer to buy at least some of their music. Buying music online means you own it outright rather than using it under license. That's not true. That's not true. When you buy a song, it's still licensed to you. It's just a lifetime license.
Yeah, see, it's reducing.
What do you guys think the next thing will be?
Implants.
Implants?
Gotta be, hasn't it?
Yep.
You want to be the first one to jump on that?
Absolutely not.
I'll be the second one.
Did you see
Absolutely
that
not.
in Finland, Microsoft started putting the RFID chips in their in their hands, but they got huge backlash for it, and they've stopped the project. So now any new starters don't get. But yeah, they were literally implanting into your hand, so you could get into the building, use vending machines and all that. So that's probably next, isn't it?
Mm.
I think one of the biggest things is from kids to teenagers, a lot of them don't have the technology that adults have. You see a lot of older teenagers going by, but then again, you're going to get the company saying, okay, so what? You want to sell them Barney? You know, and all these kids' songs? Well, yes, there's a whole entire corporation built around music for kids. And
Mhm.
we could market off of that. That doesn't mean I'm going to go out and write music for kids songs. I'm going to stick to my own music, but you can still market off of that's never going away for one. You know, record players had to come back. That's when you would market off that. Tape players, wait for their comeback, right? People want to listen to those tapes. It will happen. Happen with the records, will happen with tapes. CDs will have a comeback. Save your CDs.
I have. So you say I should keep them all?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
I truly believe what James says is history repeats itself. I truly believe it. And even if the comeback is only 5 years and it fades away,
Make your money then, or
mm-hmm, definitely.
because do you even like? Are there even any like record or like music stores anymore?
Barely. But I
Yeah.
have one in my town, so
Walmart my Walmart literally has a record section.
yeah, but they're not selling old stuff.
Yeah,
They're
they are.
selling. Are they
Dude, like
really?
mine is like 19. I make the joke. You go back to 1986 and you flip through the albums, Bob Seger's greatest hits, Aerosmith, Pump,
Would you rather
all.
buy one from Walmart or would you rather buy one from a thrift shop? That's an
Well, I mean,
actual old vintage record.
I wonder even if like I know we live down the road about 7-10 miles from Somerville, which is the county seat for Somerset County, but it's like an old kind of, what would you call it? Like like a more of like kind of like a city kind of vibe, right? A villagey type of vibe. But they have a lot of antique stores. So you wonder if a lot of people are unloading their stuff. Because I think in some cases you
Hmm.
might buy space in these, or you might, kind of like a thrift type scenario. Maybe you, or a consignment thing, you might sell your stuff there. But I bet you it may be fine because I can remember finding vinyls in that store. So do you think a lot of people with their leftover CDs and vinyls look to unload there?
Oh yeah.
Here you go, hun.
What? Oh, the name of it?
So
so
the
there's
end of
plenty of.
the topic
Huh.
was ghostwrite for others. Do we want to pull that back up?
More than I thought.
And I'll just get through this real fast. Ghostwriting is cool because it gives you the opportunity to help others become successful. Now you need to do less work on your end. Challenge yourself to write music for you and others is the thing. Write music. I don't care if it's a bass line, bass, put out the bass, get a whole, what's it called? Sound cloud thing going on. I don't care if it's lyrics, like Rob does lyrics. Just keep writing. Encourage yourself to keep writing, even if it's snippets. Just, put it out. And maybe it doesn't go out to the whole world. Maybe it goes out to your group and your group puts it out some other way.
Because by putting out music, I mean, can that hurt you? I mean, obviously you hope that, it'll be to your advantage, but if you,
Here's what I
but I
think.
mean, because what's the reason why you're not putting it out? Because if you're unsure of it, this, that, and the other. So do you, like you just said with friends, do you have a focus group and say, hey, even though I may not be completely on point or satisfied, what do you think? Do you think this is good enough that, I'll get some gravitation, where people will listen by, etc. I mean, how do you And because then what happens if your thoughts are right, that it's not, if you put something out there and it's not good, are people going to gravitate toward listening to your music, say, when you do have something good based on past releases?
First off, turn the comment section off when you release things.
Yeah.
But second, just release it. Just it really, it's up to the people if they like it. And if you start getting really good feedback on that part of the song, go make the whole version of the song. Does that make sense? Maybe they like the song the way it is, just guitar and your voice.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can go try to release a full version of it and see if they like that too. For Rob, he writes a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of forums out there that deal with poetry and lyrics and music and stuff like that. And people just put that all up. I've tried to make songs from other people's stuff to see how it goes. It doesn't go so well. I would rather have to get with that person and be like, what was the melody in your head? See, that's a thing. What if we could not just do the poetry, but also do the lyrics, but the melody that was in their head at the time, so that the people that come around could say, "Oh, I want to try to make a backing track to that. Try to sing on top of that. Let's see. Can I use your lyrics? I love this." Now, we could create a website that does that. People that share their lyrics and song ideas, and an AI generator that you hum, and it just generates a sample backing track of whatever. And you give it context, like, this is what I want it to sound kind of like, so that when the person listens to it, they can have an idea. Even poetry, like, what do you hear or feel when you're writing poetry that you want others to hear, other than just your words? Is it silence? Is it a theme from A Summer Place, Piercy, Faith? Like, what do you want them to hear? Wouldn't that be cool? Please play this before you read or as you're reading, and to have the feeling of what I'm trying to express. I mean, that's an idea. It's an innovative idea. And I say this because I've been to too many websites where everybody's posting everything, and I have no idea what they're trying to really do. But because they know what their melody was, I don't. So they're like, do what you want with it. But I'm like, I can't. If I did, you'd probably hate it. You might like it. But what was your melody? Maybe you wrote the lyrics for rap. I don't know. Maybe it's country. Maybe it's blues. But how do we know? AI? We could do that. And we could also do inserting a backing track, song, whatever, from YouTube or Spotify or Apple, that enables the person to really have a full understanding of your poetry or your lyrics. If you don't want to actually put a melody to it, but you just want people to feel it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That is. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hope that was helpful for anybody.
I do have a quote of the week. If opportunity does not knock, build a door. When you focus on problems, you will have more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you will have more opportunities.
There we go.
For thought, for sure. Yep.
So if you go back and listen to this video, and just listen to this section that we talked about why put music out there. We talked about, a little bit of copyright, whatever. We talked about little ways to sell music, company ideas. We talked about ghostwriting for others. We talked about things come back because history repeats itself. And we talked about ideas of other company ideas, basically. And I think that there's a lot that was just discussed that you could go back and siphon through. So I don't care if, even a company right now hears this message and is like, hey, maybe you're right. I'm going to look at the stats on that. I think that if we could start selling music again, some way or another, and I don't just mean just writing music and selling it because we're making backing tracks and selling. I mean selling the music itself. Find out a way to defeat the Spotify. It's not going to last forever. Nothing does. MySpace was a phase. Spotify's a phase. It's all a phase. Apple's new VR.
That's dead before it even begins.
One thing that bothers me, guys, and maybe you guys don't think about this, but I do think about this, is the AI race. And Microsoft started to get off on that, and then they were like, "We're going to release Copilot to the world, guys. Check this out," and it's not out yet. Started what, in March?
Yeah.
Like, if it comes out and it's okay, or if it's a paid subscription, that's gonna be so freaking annoying, because you're already subscribed to 360. If it's a part of it, that's great. But the amount of time that you're waiting on something, like, I think you're getting your hopes up, right? If it's like, what does it do for you? Not only we've already ran into problems where we can tell if it's AI generated or not when you're using like essays, word, whatever. So students really can't use that. They'll fail. Maybe Microsoft saw this and said it was a problem, right? Who's gonna use this service? Or maybe, like I said, we could take it back as a tool and use it to correct your work or to help you better understand your work. But students will just still continue to use it. I told my brother, I said, you do allow them to use AI, right? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. Like, we branch off of that. And I said, well, why don't the other teachers? They don't believe that that's the way students should learn, is by the AI doing it for you. So what he does is he has the AI do it for them, right? Then they have to go through it and read it and understand it and understand why it did this and why it did that and why it says that. And then he says, go correct what the AI says and write it in your own words. And that's it. And as long as they write it in their own words, so. Copilot, come on, man. I've been waiting.
Yeah, it's a long way off, isn't it? I think they didn't understand just how big it was going to be.
No, they didn't. But also, they have nothing to lose.
Yep.
Here's another.
The good
Sorry.
and the bad with AI. It's still a scary proposition.
Here's a question I have for you guys. Subscription-based services, when we compare Adobe to Microsoft 360, Office 360, Adobe has a lot more to offer, right? But then they don't have what Microsoft has, but they have kind of what Microsoft has, but they have more. So I didn't know this, that you can edit PDFs in Microsoft Word. I had no idea.
Oh.
I didn't know that Microsoft Word is now this PDF central thing. There's a way to do a lot of stuff in it. And when I found that out, I'm like, hey, I got the Adobe subscription here. I don't really need it unless I want Photoshop. So there's a lot of tools that you might already have that you don't know you have. I was scouring the internet looking for a PDF editor. I had one the whole entire time.
So you're saying Word can modify a PDF?
Yeah, let me share my screen. I mean, it's good. It's real good. Let me try to find a PDF that I feel comfortable with sharing to the world. Okay, dokie. Nope, not that. I think this one would be good. Let me just do this. Let me make sure that
So is this a document that you created in Word and saved it as a PDF, or is this a document that you got from somewhere, you know, from somebody else that was a PDF and that you just saved and opened in Word?
the second one.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do this right before I share my screen. I'd like to black out some stuff, but so I have, okay, so if you say choose another app on it on the PDF and you say tell it to open it in Word,
You're not sharing.
that's because I'm trying to test this out before. All right, I'm going to test this out. Hopefully this works right. Yeah. Opening back up Word. I'm just hiding names. And if it glitches out, it glitches out. Where's my screen at? Okay. Well, that defeated the whole purpose. It don't matter. All right. Say this is Xfinity Assistant, okay? PDF, it's never been in Microsoft Word before. Open with. Choose another app. You can make it your default even. Word. Here it comes. All right. It will say, Word will now convert your PDF to an edible Word document. This may take a while. The resulting Word, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Got it. There it is.
But
It's
does it indicate that it may reformat it, that it wouldn't be in its original form?
Watch
Which
this.
it doesn't. Okay.
So this is the same thing that you would see if I was to open it up in the PDF. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Look at
Okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look side to side here. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have something going on. Pretty good. And so say if I want to change this yes to no. Ah, there you go. This phone number is don't call me. Don't call me and press 2. File. Save as. This PC. Right? I believe. Drop down. PDF. Let's see where we're going to save this as.
You're going to rename it so you know which version.
There you go. Don't save. I don't want anything to do with that. So it's now, it's. This is the first one that we had. This is the second one we have. A little bit different in font size.
Oh, I'll have to try it out because I mean, yeah, certain times, yeah, you get PDFs and
I'll probably edit this from the video. But yeah, you guys, this is really cool. Hey Rob, um, send me the video when you are done so that I can blur.
Think that works on all versions of Word. You have the most recent version.
I do. I haven't tried it on any other versions.
Hmm.
When you have Office 365, it's you always have an update date
Yeah.
version. There is no such thing as a version anymore. It's a
Oh, okay.
subscription.
All right. There you go. My
So
ignorance. Oh.
yeah, it's
But it's
not like
good.
we have Word 2019 or anything like that.
Right.
It's not like that anymore.
Then I go to like Adobe, right? I'm sure Adobe will open up exactly like it is supposed to look or whatever. You can create new, obviously, PDF files as well. Another cool thing is if you have Adobe, you can take a picture of something and turn it into a PDF. So, not too sure what subscription is better. I guess it's what are you looking for, but you might already have it.
Yeah, it comes to frequency. Right, what you showed definitely is comparable to, having Adobe from, having an editable document. So like you say, why spend for, subscription if you don't have to?
Right.
Well, especially if you don't use it, like I said, the frequency, if it's not there. And I don't know when you get into the thick of it, if there's any drawbacks, but it doesn't appear so, right?
Yeah. No, I mean it looks like from the testing that I've done with it, it does pretty much everything that Adobe would do when it comes to PDF editing or any PDF editor.
Cool.
Different formatting.
Save me $25 a month.
No, for real, for real.
Yeah, you even think in companies, I can remember back in the day, having a lot of,
Wait,
PDF documents and either having to modify them and things like that. But then, within a company, right, you have to have, if you have a subscription, then you have to get like user license, or it just saves companies money rather.
so did nobody know this in the group? Am I the first one that found this out?
Yep.
Well, from my standpoint,
Well,
yes.
I'll be. Okay. This is kind of cool. No, I like that because that means I found something that I was able to share.
Yeah, thank you.
That's helpful. I think it was like a week ago that I stumbled upon it. I accidentally opened it up and I was like, nuh-uh. We've had a PDF editor this whole time. So, yeah, there it is. Now, what I didn't tell you is that it can also edit video. Just kidding. No. But that's what I got. Anybody else got anything?
Cool stuff.
Kevin? James? AFK? Fortnite?
I gotta go on the air shortly. I'm doing a birthday show.
I was just about to say Red Hot Chili
Oh,
Peppers.
you're gonna go on the air and do a birthday, like, yeah. So I was gonna just say, what are you gonna do for your birthday?
Oh, Kevin dropped out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on first. It's
There he is.
yeah. What am I doing? Yeah. So we're doing a 48x show as opposed to a 10x. I'm gonna do like 2 hours, and then Ricky's gonna go on. He'll do 2 hours, and then my mom's gonna come over, and we'll have. I got a quesadilla maker for my birthday, so now we have quesadillas every day.
And how versatile are they, right?
It really looks like a waffle maker,
Yeah.
just redesigned quesadilla.
And like I say, you can get quite creative, right? With your fillings.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the filling.
Well, that's cool.
But I guess that's about what you do at age 48.
Well, that sounds nice. Now, are you making your own quesadillas? I mean, your own, like, your dough and then pressing them out on this maker or maker and then you
No,
cook.
no, we probably bought.
So you buy them and then you just use it as the press to cook both sides. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
got it.
Not like So like with a waffle maker, you pour it in, right?
Yep.
But with what was that thing you used to use at campfires where you put the 2 pieces of bread in, and then you put whatever, and then you squeeze it together and put it over the fire?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I can't say I know what it's
I forget what the name
specifically
of it was.
called, but I
Yeah.
know I can envision it in my mind. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's how you put the 2 pieces of wrapper in there,
Hmm.
and then like you said, pick and choose what's going to go in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make excellent. Think about it, hamburger helper, maybe with cheese. That would be a
Sure.
well, I'm going to add that to my list.
Did I ever show you guys?
You could have like the whole bar, like everybody, right? You have all these fixings and then people go down and make their own personalized quesadilla. How big is it? Like what's the circumference of the
It looks like it makes like a 12-inch.
12-inch? Yeah. Sounds like you'll be experimenting, but fun. What'd you say, Marty?
Did I ever show you guys about inserting MIDI loops and stuff like that to make fast backtracks? Just like the drag and drop kind of thing.
Not to my
I'll
knowledge,
do
no.
that. I'll do that for another topic. Just remind me that there's, I mean, within like a minute or two, you can make a whole entire backing track that's unique from a lot of drag and drop stuff, and you have the right to sell that. So you can make like 20 a day, 30 a day, and just move along. And just say you put out all this content. I mean, of course, you're not the ultimate creator of all these arrangements, but you did arrange the MIDI files. And
Damn my boundary, I'll have to catch you later. Oh, okay. James had to drop out. Kev, rather.
and even for Kevin, he could do bass lines.
Mm-hmm.
Just put up a whole bunch of MIDI tracks for like piano and drums, and then just do the bass. Unique. But yeah, that'll be another topic. I'll call it fast MIDI songs or something like that. I don't know.
How you coming along with learning your bass?
Really good. Not really into the thumb being hurt this much, but yeah, no. I mean, it is getting calloused over.
Which it's supposed to be?
Yeah, your two fingers. I'm not used to that either. So, I've been playing guitar since I was 12, so my fingers are calloused on my left hand, but my right hand, no. Even though I pick a lot, it's not the same. They're really getting calloused on the two fingers on your right hand. They start getting really calloused because you have to move those fingers back and forth,
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get slapping the bass a lot, calluses your thumb. I'm used to doing like guitar strings, but that didn't do much of nothing. Not like the bass strings. Those are thick strings.
My brother-in-law plays bass in a group. I think I told you the Rolling Bones. It was like a Wall Street jam group back in the day. They still play at like the Red Lion, some other venues, but I don't know. I've never asked him, or he's never like, I guess his fingers are calloused over, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if your fingers aren't calloused over, you're not going to be playing for an hour. Like 5 minutes until your fingers are like, nope, can't take this.
All right, we are over time.
Oh, okay. Well, again, James, happy birthday and many,
Yeah.
many Yeah, happy, healthy returns, and I hope you have fun today.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, catch you next weekend.
All righty.
All right. Take care,
All right.
everyone.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Oops.